Okay, keep it up for Mike Vallely. And Dallas from Element Skateboarding.
When I first arrived in Israel, I really had no idea of what to expect. In spite of the tense political and religious climate of the region, I found a beautiful country, a beautiful people, and a promising skate scene comprised of kids who share the same passion for skating as their peers around the world.
When you live in a country that, is on the news every day because of its government and its politics, that can be so intense and so hard on you to grow up in that environment. And to find something like skateboarding that matters to you and maybe takes your mind off it or gives you a place to put your energy, something that's positive and productive and creative, that's a really good thing. And I with all the skaters I've skated with here and encountered and talked to, skating means the same to them as it means to me, and as it meant to me growing up, and I know the significance of it. And I think sometimes, in an environment like this, it could mean even more.
In the southern town of Eilat, located on the border with Egypt and Jordan, a group of local skaters took Dallas Rockfam and I to session a bank at a local elementary school. When we arrived, class was in session, but instead of asking us to leave, the rabbi invited us to stay, and something more substantial beyond a simple skate session would play out: a cultural exchange. Due to the language barrier, very few words were spoken between us and the students, and yet we had an understanding between us, with our skateboards doing most of the talking.
Lay down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay. No, just to. Yeah.
אמרת לי זה, אמרת לי פיקצ'ר.
The chance encounter with the kids and the short time I spent with them was one of the most memorable parts of my trip to Israel. So innocent and shy these kids were in such a weary world.
Thank you, all of us. The skate scene here is, it's been around. I mean, they've been skating at least since the mid-'80s here in Israel. And it seems like, you know, their scene has progressed as well as many scenes that I've witnessed and participated in around the world. And it's not like, you know, it's not like they're behind, like they don't have information or anything like that, you know. It's just they feel slightly neglected, I think, from the world skate scene because of where they live and who they are. And you know, I'm hoping that you know, my visit and with other pros starting to come here to skate, they're starting to get some attention in the skate magazines and so forth. That you know, that the rest of the skate community and through the skate community, the rest of the world's educated a little bit, and gets a little more eyeballs on what's happening here, and that there really is some really talented skaters here, and maybe with just a little push, you know, that this can really become a new hotbed for skateboarding.
Boaz Aquino was born in Santa Cruz, California, and moved to Tel Aviv, Israel when he was 3 years old. Having frequently traveled between the two countries, he has been exposed to skateboarding in both, and this gives him an insightful perspective on the state of skateboarding in Israel.
This is the spot that you were obsessive about, coming here and skating here? This is the meeting place right here?
Yeah, I think almost every street skater from Israel has a period in his life that he comes here a lot to learn the tricks and kind of find out what's going on with skateboarding in the center. And just growing up, you know, because when you're a teenager, you grow up through skateboarding. So you gotta have your meeting point where you meet other people, you compare, you share, whatever. Skateboarding in Israel started around the late 70s, 80s. They had a big boom, and after that it just went down like everywhere else in the world. So I kind of picked up skateboarding when it was going down.
Yeah.
Got completely crazy about it, went to the States, came back and like, all right, let's do this bigger here, because it's perfect weather.
Yeah.
Nobody, because we have so many troubles with like politics, with borders, with, you know, so there's no hassle for skaters in the streets.
You think there's potential to really build the skate scene here and
Yeah, there is, I mean,
on the international, the global scale, you know?
yeah, Israel's spots and landscapes and architecture is being more known in the world scene by pros coming here to get their tricks for videos, doing articles for magazines.
Starting to become a little bit of a hotbed.
Yeah,
Pros
exactly.
starting to recognize
Exactly.
it. That's kind of how it gets started anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And that I find that that's encouraging to the locals.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. It shows them that it's something that you can make a living off, or you can do when you get older, not only until you reach the scooter age and the girls' age. You know,
Yeah.
you keep skating, and it's still something that can be part of you and part of your lifestyle, but not necessarily a kid's game. You know.
There's little pockets of skaters everywhere.
Yeah, there's pockets of skateboarding everywhere. Biggest one is in Tel Aviv because it's the metropolitan town. There's more developing, more houses being built, more skate shops. It's getting there. Not yet, but you know, we're pushing it.
At what age is military service mandatory here?
By law, it's 18, which causes a lot of good skaters to quit or just put skateboarding aside for 3 years.
Did you do military service?
I didn't go. I
No.
really was obsessed with skateboarding and wanted to
Is
try.
that when you went to the States?
Yeah, exactly.
In the States, mandatory military service is something that I don't think people can even fathom.
Yeah,
you know?
they can't even imagine, huh?
No, but here it's fairly understood.
Yeah, it's like my girlfriend, she's in the army right now. She has to go for 2 years. For girls, it's mandatory 2 years. For guys, it's 3 years. And kind of, a lot of people say that Israel won't exist without the army.
Right.
And I always question, what about if we had no army? Like now, we'd stop the army right now. Would we? Maybe we'd still have a country, you know?
I mean, your thought is kind of a utopian thought.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
is completely is. It's completely is. Completely
you know,
part of the skateboard bubble, I would say, in center Tel Aviv.
When you have something like skateboarding and you know you feel so alive through it, it's hard to understand why the rest of the world doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't
You know.
follow through and just have fun
Yeah.
and like does what he wants.
But I mean, the reality is you live in a part of the world that is on edge all the time.
Completely. Always been.
What is it like to grow up here and live with that?
That's why I think skateboarding was so good for me, because it's such a form of like escaping reality and just like, I don't have to think about anything. I just go and learn a new trick. I go meet my skateboarding friends, you know? Like, I think all my class went to the army pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, outsider. That doesn't want to go to the army, doesn't want to follow orders, just wants to go skate, you know? Like, skate and create kind of thing. What's so fun in Israel is because it's a small scene, so once you find a spot, you know, you tell one friend, two friends, you put a photo on the internet, everybody knows about it.
Everyone's in touch with each other.
Yeah, everyone, yeah.
Small community
Completely.
throughout the whole country as far as the skaters are concerned.
Yeah, like there was the war with Lebanon just 3 months
Right.
ago, and a lot of skaters from Haifa and from the north, where the bombing went on, would come and stay with their families or with their friends in Tel Aviv. And actually, what it caused is better sessions in this spot, because they would have the kids that you see once a year, they'd be here skating with you every day for like a month. So it was really bad to have a war, but it was really good for skateboarding, because it really got all the skaters together, like avoid the reality together.
Yeah. I don't know, that just seems to be such a common theme everywhere I go, whether it's Israel or New Orleans or anywhere in the world that I've been. It's like skating, I don't even want to say it's an escape, because that sounds like a negative thing.
Yeah.
You know? It's an alternative to getting caught up in other people's nonsense, other
Yeah.
people's politics,
That's true.
other people's, agendas.
Yeah,
It's like, this is our agenda, this is who we are, this is what we do. And it has
This
to
is
be,
what we
it has
want
to be
to.
recognized, It has to be recognized.
That's what we're trying, I think. That's why you came here in a way.
Yeah, for sure. When I told people that I was coming here, in the States, the reaction was severe. Like, are you crazy? You
Yeah.
can't go there.
What are you going to do there? You're going to die.
Yeah, and it's like when you're here, people are just living their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are just skating,
Yeah.
–
Skateboarding is still here, although there's wars and there's a separation wall. But skateboarding is here, it's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, that's what kids do to release their souls from whatever they need, you know.
Like the world can be so intense and so heavy if you let it be.
Yeah.
You just find something that matters to you and live your life in a positive way and not, you know, and be respectful, and it's just such a better way to go, man.
I will never forget my time in Israel. I leave spiritually awestruck and with an increased sense of faith and wonder. The skaters of Israel embraced my coming. It made me feel welcome and appreciated. I will always be grateful for their kindness and the opportunity they gave me to skate with and for them. Israel will always have a special place in my heart, in my soul, and in my memories. The last demo in Tel Aviv was one I will never forget. Coming off of an injury-plagued year, one where I felt I may never regain my old form or abilities, the skaters and the energy in Tel Aviv revived and healed me, if only for that session. I felt totally alive, unhindered by injury or ailment. And although it wasn't the best skating I've ever done, I gave it my all, and the skaters in attendance returned the favor. And in that moment, the long bumpy road that's been my career, the long road to recovery I've battled through this last year after breaking my ankle, was all worth it. That last demo in Tel Aviv was the end of something, and thus the beginning of something new on my journey through skateboarding and through life. And the journey continues, and I'm more determined than ever to do the distance. 20 years. 20 years. I've failed. I've fallen. But I got back up. Still I go on. Still I fight. I will never give up.